He's made references to your marriage, to your husband. Are you prepared?
Well, he's not the first one, Anderson. I can't say this often enough. If he wants to go back to the playbook of the 1990s, if he wants to follow in the footsteps of those who have tried to knock me down and take me out of the political arena, I'm more than happy to have him do that. This is, to me, a classic case of a blustering, bullying guy.
Blustering bully, Katrina, welcome aboard. She called him a loose cannon. She said he demeans women. What's your take on this? Because I've always maintained that Donald Trump is going to go after Hillary Clinton, running as the champion of women and children, and he's going to make her face questions that nobody else has ever made her face.
Well, you're absolutely right, which completely makes the 1990s relevant. There is an entire generation of women now who are voting and who need to know who Hillary Clinton is. She is not a champion of women. She is a champion of one woman, and that's Hillary Clinton. And we're going to make sure that women know that Donald Trump is not some sexist and misogynist, because, believe it or not, just because you criticize a woman doesn't make you sexist.
Well, of course, when she called him a sexist several months ago, near the beginning of the year, I think, Donald Trump said she better watch it, and he brought up Bill and the infidelities and women, and she then said, oh, I'm not going to comment on anything. That she just lost it. She just wouldn't say anything about it. Not lost it, but refused to comment on it. Now she's being very bold again with, I'm the champion of women, children. So are we talking, can you see Donald Trump bringing women who claim, not that they had affairs with Bill, but can you see the women who say Hillary threatened us, Hillary ruined my life, Hillary bullied me? Can you see Donald Trump making use of those women in the campaign?
Well, I don't see Donald Trump making use of those during the campaign. Some of those women are already speaking out in social media. It will be something that she will have to deal with. It's one of the reasons why she wants to run on women's issues. The simple fact that she is struggling with women. Look at Bernie Sanders. He's been winning a lot of women, particularly younger women. This old-fashioned feminism just simply doesn't work anymore. This is something that Hillary Clinton claims to have been fighting for the last 40 years. Her husband was president for 2 terms. She served as Secretary of State. Democrats have been in control for the last 8 years, Steve, and the very first portion of Barack Obama's campaign, they had full control of the government. So why then is she still complaining that things are so bad for women? Right.
And Donald, I'm sure, knows that when it comes to this equal pay bogus issue, Hillary's Senate staff, the Clinton Foundation, they don't pay equal pay for equal work. So I hope he brings that up as well. Is he going to do that?
Well, absolutely. And they'll try to spin it by saying part-time versus full-time. But at the end of the day, the average of the dollar is extremely important. It is all hypocrisy. Not to mention, if she's a champion for women and wants to empower women, she shouldn't be taking tens of millions of dollars for countries that advocate violence towards women, that sell people into slavery, and the list goes on.
Right. Or kill gays for that matter, right?
Or kill gays, which is by law for that matter.
Right,
this isn't just an ideology that it restricts being gay. This is by death penalty. So of course we're going to talk about this. This is Hillary Clinton's record.
Good. All right. Let me ask you this about the vice presidential process. A senior Trump aide, I don't know who the name was. It might have been you. Somebody was quoted in a story I read today saying that the vetting process is going to take place. If it's not already, Ben Carson will head the vice presidential selection committee, and that the three of the early favorites, or at the top of the list, are Rob Portman, senator from Ohio, Suzanne Martinez, governor of New Mexico, and I believe Nikki Haley, governor of South Carolina. Reportedly, all 3 today have said not interested. Is that all accurate?
Well, it's interesting because it seems like every time I get this question, it's always 3 different vice presidential candidates. But Donald Trump has said that he is considering everyone, particularly all of those who have put themselves on the line and ran for this presidential cycle. He's not counting anyone out. He's listening to everyone. Everyone is sending in who they think is the favorite and their reasons why. But at the end of the day, Donald Trump will pick who he thinks is best suited to help him lead to make America great again.
Okay, so but the reason I brought it up with those 3 names was because it was a CNN story that quoted a Trump campaign official. Again, I didn't see a name, so I don't know. But let me ask you this.
We've seen a lot of that, though. There's always a story coming out, whether it's CNN or Politico, where there's someone inside the campaign, but there's never really a name, and I just wouldn't trust those sources.
So you think they're making that up?
Well, no, I'm just saying someone's probably talking about it.
Gotcha,
That doesn't
gotcha.
necessarily make it the case.
Now, he did say to Wolf Blitzer, Donald, that he would vet John Kasich. Can we also expect Marco Rubio to be under consideration, or at least be someone who's vetted if he's interested?
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone that ran for president this cycle, probably with the exception of Jeb Bush and Lindsey Graham, would be considered. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses, and Mr. Trump is going to have to balance that out with what he thinks is best as a running mate. He has mentioned that he would prefer someone that's in the political field, that has been elected in office before, someone that could help with legislation. But at the end of the day, it's going to have to be the message. It's got to be somebody that believes in Donald Trump's message, and he's going to have to sort that out very carefully.
So that would leave Carly out because she's not political, right? I'm being correct there as far as vetting?
Well, she's never held public office,
Right.
Again, he's considering everyone that has run, but he would prefer someone at this
So
point.
might he vet her? You said everyone except probably Graham and Bush, so he might vet her and Ted Cruz?
Oh, I'm sure anyone that has run will most likely be considered, simply because, as Mr. Trump said in his speech last night, he has tremendous respect for everyone that was in this race.
So why not Bush and Graham?
Well, Jeb Bush, obviously, is not someone Donald Trump would consider, because the whole thing started out with Jeb Bush versus Donald Trump, the tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions at this point, of dollars spent attacking him. Jeb Bush is not on board with Donald Trump's vision to make America great again with regard to foreign policy, or even illegal immigration for that matter, which is why he's not an option.
And Graham?
And Graham the same way. He's not on board with Donald Trump's foreign policy. And the attacks against Donald Trump were just absurd, particularly in South Carolina.
Very quickly, a judge has ruled that under the Judicial Watch suit, Hillary may have to testify as to why she had a server. We got 30 seconds. Is this something that could really sink her?
Well, it absolutely is, and this will just go to show the public that she has been doing some things she shouldn't be doing. And for someone that served in office for as long as she has, she should have known better.
All right, Katrina Pierson, it's always great to talk to you. Hope you'll come back soon. Thank you very much.